fine for us to be able to define these literary terms, but we also need to be able to identify them in poems. So what I've got is I've got a couple of excerpts. There's a few of them. There's 7 inside your mystery packet. If you take out this piece of paper, you will see that there are 7 excerpts from poems. Each one of these examples represent one of the literary devices. There might be some with one or more than one, but there's at least one of each of the 7 literary terms. I want you to take out your cards and now use the cards. For example, the first one is Autumn's Canvas, or Autumn's Canvases. You can see what rich language the poet uses here. He says, those leaves, like fire before our eyes, fell down as flames from autumn skies, then twirled like feathers to the ground. So here, the poet is using the words like or as. So find the card that represents that type of literary device and place it on top of that example. And then you're going to do the next 6 on your own. Take your time. If you need any assistance, I'll come and help you. And once you've matched them all up, we're then going to check whether you've got them correct. See, I've got 2 of these. I can steal yours. You got them? Okay. Okay, so everyone's got the first one right. Well done. And some of you are speeding away. This is fantastic. Good job. Well done. Yeah, so we look at this one here. It's got an example. It's hang heavy. That one's correct. Well done. And then you've got repeat. There we go. Well done. Good job. You're almost there, Christy. Great. Well done. Okay. So here you can see the garbage rolled on down the halls. It raised the roof. It broke the walls. The garbage reached across the state, like it's almost right across the Western Province. What example is that? That's right, because it's exaggerating. It's not really reaching so far, but yes, that's right. Well done. And here we've got hang heavy, leisurely listen. What would that be? That's correct. Well done. Alliteration. Well done, Andre. Well done. And then we've got personification. Is everyone done? Fantastic. Thank you so much, ladies and gents. I saw you working there so hard to match them up, and then you weren't sure, some of you weren't sure of 1 or 2, but then you lined them up correctly. Well done. Our first example there, the top one, is we've got Autumn's Canvases. What is that an example of? A simile, because it's using the words like or as to compare to subjects. Well done. The next one, love is a walk in the rain at night. What is that an example of? Metaphor. Well done. Everyone's got that correct. And then we've got the rain dance, the drip, drop, pitter, patter. What's that next? Good job. Thank you, Andrea. Tristan, what did you get for the walrus and the carpenter, where the moon was shining sulkily? Personification. I'll give you a copy of that poem. It's lovely. You're going to enjoy that one. And then right at the top, what is that? It's on top right-hand corner. We've got hang heavy, leisurely, listen. That's a repetition of consonants, so that's an alliteration. Good job. And then we've got the garbage that reached right across the state. It's exaggerating there, so it's a hyperbole. Well done. And then we've got the west beast, east beast. What is that? It's an example of assonance because it's a repetition of those vowel sounds. And then the last one, we've got personification at the bottom. Okay, well done. I can see now that every one of you have got a good grasp of those definitions. And so we're warming up. I would suggest as you're studying for your test coming up, that you have a look at the term, see whether you can get the definition, and then turn it over to check. This is a really good way when you're studying for your exams. Make flashcards like this because they really help. Color code them if you need to. Don't use too much color, but color code if you need to, and have the definitions for that. It's a really nice way to study definitions, and then match them up to see whether you get them correct. Okay, put them inside your, so once you take your whole pack, put it inside your mystery pack because you're going to take that home, as well as your worksheet with those examples. And if any of you would like a copy, a full copy of those poems, I have them for you. Either email them to you or I can get them to you. So just let me know if you would like one of those. Right, now that it's really heating up, I think that you guys have got a good grasp of it. So let's have a look at a pop quiz. What I'm going to do now, so you can place those cards inside your packet and then just put your packet straight in front of you. There we go. I'm going to do a pop quiz. I'm going to read out an example. These are little excerpts that come from poems. And I'm going to read them out. You are then going to see whether you can get it, whether you know which term is being used. Okay. If you think you know what term is being used, put your hand up. You got it? Okay. We'll do the first three like that. A tremendously loud crash.
Onomatopoeia.
Onomatopoeia. Okay, you got it. Who also knew it was an onomatopoeia? Yeah, I could see the hands were going up slowly. Okay, this is going to be easy enough. Instead of us just shouting out, take your cards, and then when I call it out, I want you to hold up the card. So put them in front of you, and then you've got the terms right in front of you, line them up. I'm going to read the example, and then you hold up your card. You got it. Let's see how quick you can be. Just so you got yours lined up. Good. Are you guys ready? Here we go. My sister was 1,000,000 miles away. Hold it up. All yellows. It's a hyperbole. Okay, good stuff. Right, put it down. You ready? Next one. As cozy as a soft kitten.
Yeah.
Check whether you got as cozy as a soft kitten. Yeah, simile because it's using. Well done, well done. The sun was a glowing ball of fire. The sun was a glowing ball of fire. It's a metaphor. You're supposed to have the pink card up. Metaphor. Why? Because you're stating that it is. You're comparing it, the sun, to a ball of fire, but you're not using the word like or as. It's a metaphor. Well done. How about baked better bread? Baked better bread. Yeah. Oh, that was a good one. Okay. Well done. Well done. Then we got the next one. The bugs went splat on the windshield. Onomatopoeia. Okay, you got it. Okay. The next one. The warm smile of the sun. Ooh, what is that? The sun is smiling. Can the sun smile?
It's impossible.
It can't, but it's a personification, giving human qualities to the sun. Well done. Well done. Perhaps. Then we've got, I had thousands of chances. I had thousands of chances. What is it? Exaggeration, it's a hyperbole. Well done. Can you see how we're using this to check that the brain understands and you've got it? This is another way when you study for your exams, check and see whether you can apply your knowledge. We've got the next one. She was like a queen. Simile, that was pretty quick. That was pretty quick. Well done. How about this? Mother was an iron ball. What? Mother is something. Yeah, metaphor. Not using the word like or as, but comparing mum to an iron ball. Please don't compare your mum to an iron ball. You might just not get supper. How about this one? 7 silly sashes. 7 silly sashes. We've got, it's a consonant sound. What is it? Ah, there we go, an alliteration. Okay, well done. Up jumped the paperclip and bit the paper. Up jumped the paperclip and bit the paper. Personification. Good job. You guys are smart. Way too smart for me. The teacher is The teacher is an encyclopedia of information. An encyclopedia of information. Stating a subject is something. Andrea says it's definitely a metaphor, but she thinks it's an exaggeration because there's no way as a teacher can be an encyclopedia. Okay, metaphor, absolutely. It's a metaphor because you're comparing the teacher to an encyclopedia. I'm very, very chuffed with you guys. I have got another few questions here, but I think let's go straight on to your homework activity. Inside your packet, you've got a worksheet like this. This is really going to be a test to see whether you understand each term, whether you are able to define the term, and whether you are able to provide an accurate example. So you're going to write your name and your surname at the top. You can do this for homework, you don't have to write your name now. On the left-hand side here, you will see there are the 7 terms that we've been covering today and reviewing. You're going to write down a definition for each of those terms, and then you're going to provide an example for each one. Then comes the application task, because this is really important. It's wonderful learning about all of these literary tools and poetic devices, but it's very important that we're able to apply that knowledge to our own writing. So when you write your own poems, think about these kinds of terms. Use them in your own poetry. Think about where you can use to emphasize something, where you can repeat the first letter of those words, the first consonants. You can repeat it like licking luscious lollipops. You've repeated that consonant sound, so that's an. What is it?
Alliteration.
An alliteration. There we go, you found a friend. An alliteration. So you put that definition in, you would give the example just like I did now with the licking luscious lollipops. But now you're going to write for number 2, you're going to write your own poem. And you've got to use at least, well, I'd say use 6. Okay, you're going to use 6 poetic devices and you're going to include them in your poem. And it can be a free verse, it can be any type of poem that you'd like to write, and you can pick any theme. You can use the beach if you want to. You can use the farm, your favorite place. So in order to choose a theme, it must be something that you really enjoy, because then the words will just flow. You will find that poets tend to stick to particular themes, many of them, because that's what they really enjoy. Like you'll get poets that just write about love because they've experienced that emotion very deeply, and they're able, the words just come and they flow, and they're able to use these literary tools in their poems. So you're going to do that for them. Spend some time, sit and relax after you've done this first one, put in the definitions, give your example, and then sit and relax and write a poem and make sure that you've got an example of each one of those. You're going to bring it back for our next session when I see you again, and that'll probably be either just before your exam, depending on when you guys are writing. But I'll then check that for you, and if you are stuck on anything, you let me know. You can come and see me, or you can send me an email and then I'll help you out with any of those. Okay. I am super proud of every one of you. I think you did a stunning job. Thank you so much for giving up your time during the weekend and coming to help out at this workshop. So well done.